MH370. What happened to the plane that vanished without a trace? A Malaysia Airlines flight vanished without a trace, while en route from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing on March 8. The weather was clear and there was no distress signal from the cockpit when the plane disappeared from radar screens. A massive search operation combed the Indian Ocean, but the Boeing 777 was never found. After more than 9 months, not a single piece of debris from MH370 has turned up. Despite numerous conspiracy theories, we still don't know what happened to the plane. All 239 people on board are presumed dead. Nigerian girls. Where are the schoolgirls who Boko Haram kidnapped? Nearly 300 schoolgirls were kidnapped in April from the government secondary school in Chibok, Nigeria, by a radical Islamic group called Boko Haram. In early May, the hashtag #BringBackOurGirls began to spread on Twitter, raising the world's awareness of the mass abduction. In May, Nigeria's Chief of Defense Staff, Air Marshal Alex Bade, said the country's military had located the schoolgirls, but using force to free them is currently out of the question. Bade did not specify the girls' location, and a U.S. Defense Department spokesperson said it could not confirm Nigeria's report. By year's end, a majority of the girls remain missing. Francis Leavy's handprint. Francis Leavy was a dedicated firefighter during the 1920s. He loved his job, and his peers loved him. He was a pleasant man, always ready with a smile and a helping hand. On April 18, 1924, Francis's colleagues became aware of a change in his behavior. Suddenly, he was an unsmiling, grunting guy washing a large window at the Chicago Fire Department, not looking at anyone or talking. After a few minutes, Leavy suddenly announced that he had a strange feeling that he might die that very day. At that very moment, the phone rang and broke the heavy atmosphere brought on by the fireman's words. A fire was raging at a building quite a long way from the fire department, and no time was to be wasted. In just a few minutes, Francis Leavy and his fellow firefighters were on the scene, assessing the situation and helping those trapped on the top floors. Everything seemed to be on track to rescue everyone from the building. Then, suddenly, the flames engulfed the lower part of the building, and the roof caved in. As soon as this happened, the walls came crashing down, pinning many people under the rubble including Leavy. Leavy's grim premonition came true. He lost his life that day trying to save others. The very next day, trying to come to terms with the loss of Leavy, his colleagues sat at the firehouse thinking about the events of the previous day. Suddenly, they noticed something strange on one of the windows. It looked like a handprint smudged onto the glass. Eerily, it was the very same window that Francis Leavy was busy washing the day before. The firemen cleaned the window again, but the print stubbornly refused to disappear. For many years, the handprint remained on the window in spite of chemicals used to try and remove it. The strange mystery remained unsolved, but came to an abrupt end when a newspaper boy threw a paper against the window in 1944, causing it to shatter into pieces. China's Dwarf Village. Villages in general are not strange. Villages in China are also not strange. There are many remote ones in this country, but one stands out from the others. Scientists and experts are extremely interested in the inhabitants of Yangtze, situated in the Sichuan province. The reason? Not only are there only 80 residents in the village, but almost half of them are dwarfs. Rumor has it, according to those who live in Yangtze, that a mysterious disease befell the little village more than 60 years ago. Young children between the ages of 5 and 7 were most affected, and the disease caused them to simply stop growing. Experts now know that stunted growth is only likely to appear in 1 in 20,000 people, so what happened in Yangtze is something very much out of the ordinary. Especially considering that historic sightings of the dwarfs claim that several hundred of them were residing in the Sichuan region at one point. As if the mystery affliction wasn't bad enough, some of the children struck by it started suffering from a variety of disabilities. As adults, some of the afflicted gave birth to children who also only grew to around 1 meter, 3 feet, in height. The Chinese government has never allowed visitors to the village, inevitably opening up the story to a host of urban legends. It has been said that the citizens felt dark forces had invaded their homes and started believing that they were cursed due to their ancestors' anger over improper burials. Others apparently believe a turtle to be the source of the problem. Some of the villages cooked and ate a black turtle and, soon after, the strange disease hit Yangtze. After all this time, however, it seems that the residents are growing out of the disease. The younger generation has seemingly been spared.